I guess we're ready to get started with our first keynote speaker. So this gentleman, Etrit, come on up. Etrit Demaj from KODE Labs. Otherwise known as the Fresh Prince of BAS. You guys like that? Because he wears neat shoes all the time.
I think you guys are beating me this time.
All right, take it away.
All right, thank you. Cool. Let me just make sure this. All right, hey everybody. My name is Etrit Demaj. I'm one of the co-founders of KODE Labs. So I think today, you guys, a lot of you know who KODE Labs is, but for some of you that don't know who we are, we started the company in October of 2017. Proud to say that we started here in Detroit, and this is the city that we came from in '99 as refugees. And for us, it's the best city in the world, and it's the best country in the world. So we're really lucky to be here. Our platform really, obviously, it's a smart building platform. We'll go through that more and more. But one of the things that I just really wanted to highlight is, outside of the technology, the biggest thing that we really wanted to do was strive to be the #1 client service team in the whole industry. And how we've done that, I'll go through that more and more, but that's just something that drives us. We're trusted by some of the local brands like Ford, Bedrock. Now, we're lucky to have won the Government Services of America contract for that single pane of glass and their new smart building platform. And then as well as some of our top channel partners like Alberio. We have a major partnership that we just announced with Legrand on Monday, Harris, Veritech, and some of the others. What we are trying to solve for and continue to keep working on is that traditional smart building layers and how technology is bought in buildings today. Really, we're continuing to keep striving and driving towards that unified cloud solution where, as the future state continues to creep on us faster and faster, our goal is to continue to keep delivering applications and products that make it easier, faster to implement jobs, to get out of jobs, and then to be able to continue delivering the best client service through all applications on the same platform, because they're all different, whether it's a certain vertical, certain client, or the type of user that you have within that platform. Usually what we see is they're just buying the same data in many different ways. And then they start to say, well, this is expensive, that's expensive. But in reality, they're just buying the same data sets with some new dashboards up top, from local all the way to the enterprise side. And this is what helps our channel partners continue to keep going. Some of the applications that obviously we have today are all here. I think some of our channel partners are here today, and our end users. But really what we're continuing to try to strive for is keep verticalizing them more and more. We're not changing the applications, but the goal is to ensure that there's verticalization and customization for each one of these applications. And then, as we continue to keep driving towards the future of how we see the industry, but also how we see the world. And when we make an analogy, really when you think about how you used to, since it's, the baseball theme, we kind of compared stadiums. When you used to go into stadiums, let's say, not too long ago, you would stay there for 4 hours. You would maybe get a drink, maybe get a hot dog. But for 4 hours, you just watched the game. Now, and you actually wasted a whole day because you went and took your family walking around before or after. Now, in 3-4 hours, you can take your family to a restaurant in the stadium. You can actually play some games in the stadium while watching the game. You can bet while actually watching the game. You can also see replays right off the bat on your app. So the world has changed. Everything is changing. And then I think when we think about how the rise of the cloud experience is going in the BAS space, or also in buildings altogether, we see a huge difference. And then we see, even when you look at how the world is changing right now from a government perspective and everything else, we're seeing that this is fast forwarding more than ever before. And a lot of our channel partners are using cloud now to actually go much faster, and then to also be able to have the right data sets, databases, to continue to keep educating their team members and also managing clients like they never managed them before, with a lot more cybersecurity and a lot more enterprise tools. I think to give you guys just a quick idea how we're also starting with this and how we've, some of the things that have really, really helped our channel partners in the last year or so is they're using our mobile app, they use our digital commissioning tool. As soon as they install a project, they add the sequence of operations there in logic blocks, and then they test it, and then they show the end users, they show the actual clients that, hey, what they programmed is working. And then they can continue to add the rest of the tools, because what we're seeing within all of these clients is that they're not thinking as much about, my BMS this or that. They're more thinking my workflows. There's a lot more collaboration in companies now where they need the BMS data to tie to occupancy data. They need, more integrations faster. They need a lot more openness, but all this stuff has to work together for them, because they used to all sit in separate places. Now we're starting to see them start to sit closer and closer together. And some of these partners, controls contractors, MSIs, and the others, they still trust them to do some of the hardest jobs that they have, but they need more technology now, which is what we're continuing to keep building and what we're continuing to keep seeing and listening on. And I think to go into really outside of what we've done to date, and as we look at that 2025 lineup, and kind of what we're looking to do next is, you all know us as a startup. Last year we tried to obviously continue to keep maturing as a company, but this year we're back to startup mode. Because we've built a lot of the applications, we're seeing what's working for everybody, we've got a lot of really, really great feedback, and a lot of the feedback that we've gotten is, people are saving money with their implementations. People are a lot more transparent with what they're doing. And some of these companies have really, been able to do more with less through the KODE platform. But now, with all the data that we have, with all the information that's there, all the applications, we had to kind of go back to that really grind mode and add the next application layers that we see are so useful, and we understand that they're going to, we believe that they're going to be some of the most powerful tools combined with what we already have for everybody in the platform today. Some of these applications that we're working on today, like the Building Data Hub, which I'm going to go through every single one of them, and then Asset Ops. Building Data Hub is really, we have 170 plus APIs on the platform today, and we've opened up the platform where all the catalogs, all the tables, everything that's in the background for each one of these APIs is open to you. You can create anything you want to be able to create, which I'll go through that more and more, but it's really given the ability for everybody, if they have SQL, obviously, profiles within their teams, if they have data analysts, they can create what they need to create. For Asset Ops, we're really automating how all assets are normalized, how they're, the ontology behind them, whether they're on an Excel spreadsheet or a BMS or a work order. We're starting to combine those together so they can see exactly and know which asset it is, and they don't have to count them in many different ways, which I'll go more into that too. Energy, we see a huge need this year to show bigger and bigger ROIs into the years to come. A way to do that is we've combined a lot more of the utilities and other interval data to where you can create MNVs, you can create local laws right on the platform without having to buy another platform for the data that you already have and need and integrate to. And then last but not least, I'm going to go through this, we've been zoning in a lot more on AI. Just like everybody else, we'll go through this, but I think you'll get to see, you'll kind of get an idea of what we've been doing and where we're looking to go. Outside of that, we're building 45 plus new APIs that we've set out to build. We had 44, but I think Bill and I talked yesterday, so hopefully we're going to get that 45th at Metasys this year, right, Bill? All right. Can't wait. But I think so. We're continuing to go faster, and on top of that, the APIs, just developing them. Our goal is literally to make it easier for every one of you to just build APIs through logic blocks. So you have a new API, you have a new connection, just push everybody to give you that that documentation, and then be able to build it through logic blocks, because we've been working on developing that and making it easier. So you don't have to charge somebody $50,000 or $10,000, just make it happen in 2 days. I think from a building data hub perspective, if I go a little bit, just a little bit deeper into this, what it really does, and it's, since it's a little bit technical, but it's really set, how we see this industry is, we are software people, we understand buildings too, but you really understand operations in buildings. And what we really wanted to do was give you the ability to add what you know works really well in buildings, and start to add those open KPIs, everything that you need within the platform, and send it wherever you need to send it. Make it as open as possible. You can see the code, you can add SQL, you can do whatever you need to do, where when a client says, I have meter data, and with this meter data, I'm not just looking at my energy meters through my BMS, but I need this data to be able to either backfill historical information, so my accounting team can get the right details, to be able to get the right reporting from an ESG perspective. This gives you the ability to do that, and this gives you the ability to find the anomalies historically, and then not to be able to not to have to make changes or see a difference in that kind of data, let's say 90 days later. And so many more KPIs, depending on the type of API that we have here. Can somebody go next? Sorry. Yeah, so basically, what we see today is you see a lot of different data sets when you bring them in. Our goal has been to just combine it, and with 1 or 2 clicks, get you to what you need to be able to see with those data sets. You may want to be able to go deeper, but what you want to show to the clients, that's what our new Building Data Hub does, is make it easier, quicker, and you don't have to use third-party cloud solutions to be able to do these things. From an asset ops perspective, typically you have a lot of integrated data that you guys are working with, and then clients will have an Excel spreadsheet with their assets, and then on top of clients having an Excel spreadsheet with their assets, they'll probably have a work order system or a predictive maintenance tool or something else. Whether they have that or not, you can either add it for them, or you can combine these data sets, so then you can start to see and normalize that on their Excel spreadsheet. They have the same device that you have on your BMS that you have on the work order system, and they can start to normalize that, and then be able to have that right normalized solution where they can truly build the right predictive operations, as well as understand from a cybersecurity perspective, and they can make the integrations wherever they need to be able to make those integrations to know what changes have happened within their buildings. This is a use case that we have gotten from many partners like Harris and others, because when they're working with the larger clients, it's something that they can never report well on. Or if they are trying to do servicing, it makes it easier where they can add this database of what they're going to be servicing, how they're going to be servicing it, and then integrate it to either the client's work order system or report it to them in a way where it makes sense, so the clients actually understand, and it all gets normalized, not just from one place to another. From an energy perspective, the way we see this application is really, these applications, part of this exists already, but what we're trying to solve for here is that data issues that you see in every one of those utility platforms that are out there. Usually they're bringing in utilities, but they're bringing them in, let's say through Energy Star or through some other different way, but it'll Many times manually it'll show a bill that's really should be 2 bills because it's 60 days instead of 30 days. So our goal is really to start to align and normalize all that. So you can use it and you can show clients exactly what their energy is doing and how you're optimizing within their portfolio through the applications. But on top of that, clients can have that single pane of glass and they don't have to buy more and more applications in many different places and then try to make these integrations together because it's pretty tough and it also doesn't align with what their goals that they have in place today. So these are some of the things that, we're continuing to work on. They've been showing some really great results. The other part that we believe that, honestly, you guys all know, from an AI perspective, I think throughout this year, we've gotten a lot of feedback and a lot of requests. And as we started doing more and more AI, and through our R&D, we started finding that everything that we were doing, from onboarding to digital commissioning to graphics, analytics, to generating reports, with AI, and more AI, we're really able to make this close to instant or basically as close as possible to that. So like from an onboarding perspective or from FDD or from any of the applications that we have, our goal this year is to continue to keep adding more AI suggestions, more AI assistance on every part of the application so I can just start to normalize the end users and anybody that's using the platform. And you can, as you're talking to them, you can explain to them what's happening. You can see the suggestions that are coming from major databases, but also from our own database as well, because we have a lot of data now. And it really helps them decide faster. It helps them understand how to use AI in a simple way. And we don't have to go too crazy yet, but the background and the database is giving them all the things that they need instantly, basically. So from an onboarding perspective, it's modeling out based on ontologies, based on the type of devices that they have. A big need that we had as a company was, I really don't know, when I pull something in, we got this from one of our channel partners, said, when I pull something in, I still have a problem of if it's named in some weird way, I can't tell what it is. So what it does now, we were already doing some of it, but what it really does now is it actually tells you exactly what it is based on the type of data points that you're clicking and you're seeing. And then from an FDD perspective, instead of building reports or taking hours to show like some kind of a report on what faults are there, what's really being able to walk your clients through something that is more powerful, it's instant now. You don't need to build all those reports. You don't need to take that time. You need to just be who you are, which is buildings better than anybody else. This just helps you go further. And from a digital commissioning perspective, when something is not, is not passing or it's not doing what it's supposed to do, it tells you what the issues could be and where it ties to, so you don't have to, you don't have to make up your mind. It really goes where it needs to go, and then you can actually advise on the next things that are needed. And another big thing from an AI perspective that we're doing as a platform, as a company, is we follow the trends really closely. It's something that we have to continue to keep doing. There's a new, basically open standard. It's called Model Context Protocol, MCP. Look it up. You should research it. It was created by Anthropic, which is one of the top companies in AI today. On top of it being created by Anthropic, it's actually been, Google has now come on board, and they're using the same standard. And many other companies are going to start to do that. And what we're doing as KODE is basically every feature, every application that we're building on our platform, we are aligning and integrating MCP into that. Because going into next year and the years to come, we can't tell the future, but what we can tell is things are getting better, getting easier, and large language models should be just part of that. And you shouldn't have to worry about how you're going to add large language models, because some of the bigger companies have already figured it out, just like they figured out mobile apps and everything else. We believe that by setting the standard early, by starting to do this today and having it ready, we believe that we're not only going to be ready, but we're going to make everybody else more ready for the future. And then as we continue to keep adding more applications, we're not forgetting about the existing applications that we have. We have dedicated teams that are assigned to each one of these applications, and we continue to get feedback and want to go faster and basically have more cost-effective products as we're doing this. This should not mean that we're just going to charge crazy dollars. Our goal is to be as cost-effective as possible, and how we do that is by continuing to keep developing and listening to the market, and then also do the things that we think make sense as well. But this is allowing us as a company and as a team to be able to, see results, and then see how our partners are implementing the platform, how they're adding applications, what they're doing, and then make sure that we're there to continue to keep driving those outcomes. And then also meeting with end users and really understanding what they want and need. I can tell you what you do today, they're buying it in 7 different ways. Like, an easy way to offer it to them just gets you more and more to that top of that enterprise line, and less of that, just building by building. And we believe that that's a huge differentiator, and we are really proud of, I think, some of the results that we've seen so far. And we hope that throughout this year, as you guys continue to keep, obviously, like building the businesses, doing all amazing things that you do, we hope that you at least check out the platform, give us a chance, and then show you what we can do. I think if you want to get access to a demo environment, some of these applications that we have, obviously we're still in flux with, but we have a demo environment here where you can get your mobile app, you can get a user ID to the platform. Just here's the link, and then we may ask you just a couple more questions, but we'll work with you and Cochrane between us, and then we'll make sure that we get you access to the demo environment. We show you what's there, and then you can see it. You can also start to show it to your clients and see if they like it, and then go from there. So hopefully you guys at least got to enjoy some parts of what we're doing now, and really appreciate everything so far for over the last couple of years, and it's been great getting to know the community more and more.
Well done. So real quick, Etrit, before I let you go, like a year ago, we were in Texas, you were on stage, it was like a whole different presentation, dude.
Yes.
I mean, and like AI, right? Like the systemic change of that in your business, I mean, it's been rapid, right? Can you just speak to how quickly it's changed your guys' mindset as a company?
I mean, like we're a smaller company, right? But we have no choice but to change, because AI is like, when we use it to build our presentation, we use it to do things that we need to do. It was very easy to tell them, like, it needs a lot of data, first of all.
Yeah.
And that's been pretty big for us, because we've been a cloud-first solution. We have multi-tenant data, set up. It's anonymized, but we can really use that data with the data that's already out there to go faster. And we started to notice that. And what we did, actually, Eddie's here, and our other co-founder, G, which we made it a point. We forced everybody for a month not to do anything else, but just build some AI tools. And I think we got people more and more aligned, and we have some great team members who just obviously are driving it, and I think it should be pretty good.
I'm so excited the way you guys have embraced AI and brought it to the community. I think everybody should look at this. It's super cool. And so thank you. Awesome.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Etrit.
Thank you.
Yeah, well done.